The scam that's become so normal. Transition plans in IEPs. By the time a kid is entering high school, they should have a transition page filled out in their IEP. In 8th grade, usually it's a pretty skeletal form of the document, but as they progress through high school, it's supposed to have more and more detail added to it. The purpose of the transition plan is supposed to help prepare the child for life, school, work, and community involvement after high school. Somebody on the special ed team is supposed to give your child an assessment every year that tracks their progress or their ability to perform in those 4 areas: community involvement, adult care, post-secondary education, and career and work plans. We then have to basically write a mini PLAF statement that says here's where the child is at in this category, and then if appropriate, add a goal for those 4 areas. The only area that is sometimes not given a goal is adult living, if the child really knows how to cook, clean, do transport, hygiene, and all of that stuff. Most kids need a lot of guidance in the other categories, getting involved in their community in positive ways, forming relationships with people that can help them get through college or get a job. But those are things that we write about in the transition plan and then oftentimes don't follow up on after we've given it a goal. Special ed teachers have to report on the progress of the goals that are written in the IEP, but not the goals that are written in the transition plan. It just has to be updated every year, and an assessment has to be given every year. The thing that does get tracked is the language that we write in the transition plan. It's actually, in Michigan, pretty much the only part of the IEP that gets monitored and regulated by the state is the transition page. But they're not looking at what we actually did with the kid or following up on their goals. They're just looking on the verbiage and how did we word the goals, or how did we word what their achievement was going to be. Special ed teachers aren't given a lot of support and guidance with the transition plan and following through on it, and we aren't given really resources and training on how to best implement and get all the different pieces moving for the kid. And we're also really not given a lot of time and access to the child once they enter high school if they're on diploma track. Oftentimes, the person put in charge of each of the goals on the transition plan will be cited as the parent or guardian. Some schools do them really well, and hats off to all of those of you who are writing them well and following through on them. But the truth of the matter is, most of the time, it's just written really well and then kind of ignored. If your child graduated with a diploma and you look back and see that not a single thing in their transition plan was actually done and the school has no data collected on following through on achieving those goals, you might want to consider looking into filing.